I paid of almost 10 grand in student loans to give myself a relief from thinking about them, but my parents started fuming at me saying that this was meant for my future, not for my loans, and demanded that I leave the house. So I moved out and later made a decision that made them even more furious. Hi, 24-year-old male, recently graduated college. I got my Bachelor of Science and was left with 2 federal loans, with low interest rates, 3% totaling $7,500. I went to community college for a couple of years. Then after financial aid, family is poor. At a state university, I was left with a low balance. I had $7,500 in a joint savings account with my mom through Wells Fargo. It was all my money I had saved. Since I started working at 16, the account was locked down by her. However, as I could only put money in, not withdraw, fast forward to 2024, what happened was I got overdrafted on the checking account and my mom told me just to close it. She meant the checking. I closed the entire account and deposited the money into my own account with Chase. I then paid my loans off in full. I did this because it was a burden off my shoulders and the loan forgiveness never went through. Payments had just started up again. I figured I would rebuild my savings from the money. I planned to throw out my loans anyway and could save on the interest plus. If I ever lost my job, I wouldn't have a big bill hanging over my mind. She didn't agree, and I could tell she wanted to scream at me, but we were in public because she locked the account down years ago. We both had to go in person together to unlock it. She gave me the cold shoulder for 2 days, then had my step dad talk to me about it. She kept charming in from around the corner and an argument started. Essentially, they were saying that I lied and went behind her back to rescind an agreement we made. When she locked my account down years ago without asking me, she told me it would be for my future, nothing specific, just money on hand. Yet it was now money for me to move out. They said their trust in me was now gone and that I burned a bridge, even saying they felt the last 2 years I've spent trying to repair our relationship was a con. I was mad. I was told I had to leave as soon as possible, and I got very lucky and worked hard. So I was able to move out on February 1st. From starting in mid-November with only like $1,000 to their credit, they wouldn't make me homeless after our argument. She hasn't said a word to me. It has been closing on 6 months. She has only said, "Thank you," when I caught a heat lamp that had fallen over and turned a towel into ash/smoked up the house. She doesn't leave her room when I come to get mail or drop my brother off. And she has her own version of events. I have heard through the grapevine. For context, 3 months after graduating, I started paying $660 for my room plus my share of the phone bill. I have covered my own food, clothes, insurance, and all other bills for years before on my own. They covered water and electric and let me stay there while in school for free. The plan was I pay rent while saving up and looking for better work/paying off my loan over time. Also, when I started working at 16, I was told by my mother to put half of every check into a joint account with her. This was to be my primary savings account. I complied and it was fine. However, she started snooping through my purchases and would call me a fat pig for buying fast food or say I was throwing away my money when I would buy a game. This is why I had an account with Chase and stopped using the joint account/got overdrafted. There's a lot of backstory as to why our relationship was already rocky. I don't want to make this any longer or trauma dump. If you want any info or context, just ask and I will comment. I just would love a non-biased opinion because they kept insisting it wasn't over the money or the account or the fact that I could save that money back plus more within a year. They kept pushing for an apology, but I refused.